Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Happiness Journey with Dr. Dan podcast, where every journey is worth living. My name is Dr. Dan, and I'm your host for today's episode. I'm a bilingual neurolinguistic programming and cognitive behavior psychotherapist specializing in anger management issues, both court-appointed and private, marriage counseling using the EFT method, dissociative disorders, narcissistic personality disorders, depression, anxiety, dream analysis, and also provide life, business, and retirement coaching support. I provide individual one-on-one session in both French or English, and also do group settings. If you need any assistance, reach out to DMV therapy and coaching services at 301-325-1550. And our website can be found at lifecoachddanamzallag.com. Today, I'm very excited to have our first episode of season 15, a special guest and author of From Suicidal to Serene, Amir Siddiqui. And just like every of my past episode, I will leave it up to the guests to properly introduce themselves, as no one can do a better job. Amir, the floor is yours, my friend.
Dan, thank you for having me. I appreciate that. So basically, I wrote this book because after being a journey of 9 years to acquire the state of happiness and health. And to me, it was kind of a long journey, and I had to go through many therapies and modalities. Therefore, I decided to share with others so it might benefit them on their journey should they choose to go on their journey. So that's my introduction. And of course, I was suicidal, and I'm going to go in detail later on because I went through trauma in my childhood, complex trauma. So that's why I had all those negative emotions such as fear, anger, resentment, bitterness, jealousy, envy on a predominant basis.
Okay.
And a sick body leads to sick mind, and vice versa. I also developed some physical ailment like constipation, frequent urination, and other issues. And this sick body and sick mind wreak havoc on all parts of my life, from social life to personal life to sleep to work. And my life was so miserable that I was suicidal for 2 years from 2001 and 2002. So that's my history, and that's where it begins and started.
Okay, so let's go with the where it began. So you disclosed a little bit of that. Did you get any help from therapists or any other counseling to be able to help you cope, like dialectical therapy to be able to help you cope with suicidal thoughts? And did you take any medication to be able to manage probably depression or anxiety that you were dealing with?
That is a great question. And the answer is yes. So let's talk about medicine first. I tried, I don't know, any medicine you can think of, such as Abilify, Paxil, Zoloft, Dapacort, Risperdal, Effexor, Xanax, you name it. With regards to therapy, yes, I have received around 55 sessions of cognitive behavior therapy. And I know it might sound strange, but those modalities did not help me in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Now, I did not know then why not. I know now because, in my opinion, in my experience, trauma and those things lie in subconscious mind. And to me, cognitive behavior therapy, though a gold standard and a great way to improve, did not help with those issues that lie deep in subconscious. So I went through other therapies such as hypnotherapy and EMDR therapy, and they tend to help me more than those modalities. And of course, I went through other modalities too later in my journey.
Because dialectical therapy, not cognitive, but dialectical, is more for suicidal thought. So, do you think that you miss taking this kind of modality of therapy that could help you better than what other therapy that you took or whatever it is. I mean, I'm sure that cognitive probably helped you with your changing your thoughts and your belief, etc., to be able to kind of like modify the way that you perceive the world around you. Because obviously, when we deal with depression or anxiety or suicidal thought, we always feel that the world is against us. We feel that we're alone. We feel that there's no way out, no exit. And because of that, when people are really feeling so isolated and so deep down into their issues and troubles, there's no way out beside, ending your life. So you said that you did another like EMD therapy. Is it like the electrical one or
EMDR, eye movement
movement? Okay.
desensitization therapy, EMDR, and hypnotherapy. And to answer your question about electrical therapy, I did not know that because not everybody knows about all the different modalities of therapies. My doctor recommended to a therapist. I received what I got. I don't know how they work at that time. I become aware of all those therapies later in my life. So no, I did not know because I was not aware, and not my psychiatrist or psychologist recommend me that therapy.
Okay. I mean, there's also NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, that could also help as well. So what? Okay, so after the 2 years that you were thinking about committing suicide, did you attempt it, or it was just a thought? Did you actually attempt suicide?
So that's the good question. So what I did, let me tell you a couple things about suicide from my perspective. So I never fear for my life. To me, life was not worth living. But my biggest fear was, what if I try to commit suicide and I become even worse? For example, people see them, they become
PJ.
lose your kidney, or eye, those things, so they are worse off. So from me, I never ever cared to live. My only worry was pain and suffering. I've been through so much. So I wanted to do a suicide in a way that is just 100%. Boom, I am done. I bought an illegal gun from market and I wanted to do it, but life just have their own way of dealing with you. I used to live in a shanty house. Police came to search in my neighbor's apartment for some drugs, and somehow they get to search my apartment and they found the gun. That was my hope. I thought when I become really angry that I could not think about my pain. Boom, I'm gonna put in my head and pull the trigger. But I was not able to do that. So I had planned to, and also I tried to get sodium cyanide. I was not able to get my hand. So, long story short, I could not get something a painless way committing suicide, and my fear stopped me taking action. So
Okay, and
that's
so when you use the EMDR, what kind of changes have you noticed, Amir, in your life, the way that you perceive your environment, that you perceive your own, your own, I would say, value and your own presence in this world? What have you gone through to be able to see if that actually works for you, especially that you tried so many different medication that were not working, they were not giving you those results that you were looking for. So what else did you do to be able to make it work for you?
sure. So first of all, I live my life with suffering and misery till 2015. My journey, the journey where I become active participant. Of course, we are on all journey, but usually we are a passive. We just uh, react to circumstances, people, and conditions. That's how I was. But June 2015, when I become a participant, from there on, as I said, I did many therapies, and they all helped me up to a point. For example, inner child. It's a Hoffman process, a week-long treat. I went there for a week, for a whole week, and I participated the journey of Hoffman treat. I did that. They ask you so many questions before and go through your own history, family history, all those you become aware of what happened to you in childhood. That helped me to some extent. Of course, EMDR helped me, hypnotherapy helped me. Then uh, The one thing I do learn about meditation, I do that. That helped me a lot. And also, what helped me is forest bathing. Forest bathing is, I'm sure you know, it's about being in nature. That helped me a lot. And I discovered by accident, and I shared in my chapter 4 in my book. So I was really angry and and from job and driving all those. So I decided to go to nearby park without any agenda, any knowledge or anything. I sat there for 45 minutes, just completely quiet, my phone off. I felt great. I felt great. And don't get me wrong, still angry, still has those things. I tried for a month. I just said, man, that's good. Let's do it. So I went there for a whole month, sat there for half an hour, whatever time, no phone, completely quiet, completely just, in the moment. It helped me a lot. So it's become my practice going to nature. I did not know the science behind it, but I did research afterwards. I said, is there any science people know about it? Then I know, oh, it's a called forest bathing, and they discovered in Japan in 1984. So that's to answer. They all help me to a point. So it's not like just a silver bullet. You do this and boom, you are healed.
Yeah, so
So often process, meditation, EMDR, hypnotherapy, forest bathing, even supplement food and diet. So many things. They all help me to a point. And that's how I come to see. I say healing is a journey. It's not, at least for me, it's not overnight event or month long event. Boom, you are healed and no. So it took me a long time and lot of investment of time, money, energy, and all that.
well, you do say a very good point here, Amir, because we are a society that we always expect to find that one magic pill that can cure us, or that can make us
Hmm.
better, that can make us feel alive or new, or whatever it is. And the thing is that people don't have that level of patience to be able to
Yep.
apply all those different modalities that you discussed. And yes, I know the nature walk where you go, you're barefoot and you walk in the grass and you feel the vibration of the earth, and it
Hmm.
you directly into your body, and that makes you feel closer to nature, which in retrospect make you feel more alive, more being a part. Like when you look at this point of singularity that this whole universe started from, and this is the
Yeah.
level we see here. So we are a part of the universe as we see it. So Earth and everything else is also a part of what we kind of look at the world around us and how the world sees us. So the thing is that we always try our best to be able to give the best of ourselves, okay? But sometimes mental illness can come in between and it can say, hey, you know what? You're not ready. Let's try to cure you first. Let's try to figure out what works for you. So it's good to be able to have you try every possible method and the one that works the best. I mean, not one will work, but all of them together.
Yep. That's correct.
So then, okay, so let's say after 2015, because you said also in the beginning of the conversation, Amir, you said that it all stemmed from childhood. So can you tell me more about what happened in your childhood? So maybe people will relate as to what occurred, or if you dealt with any trauma or any situation that make it very difficult for you.
Yeah. So that's a great point. That's the cause. If you go to the cause why something is, it's easier to treat. And first of all, we are all programmed genetically and environmentally. And trauma goes even past 7 generations. And my father and mother has trauma. They went through so many issues, and they all came to me genetically. That's one. And second was I was the oldest child. So of course, other my sibling, they also have medical issues, mental issues, but I was the one affected most because being the oldest one. That's second. And then we are programmed and environmentally in our environment. So of course, my father and mother was not happy. They had depression, but not diagnosed, which is the case. The people who have depression never been diagnosed, never been diagnosed. So environmentally, genetically, and then of course It's like a cycle, vicious cycle. Cause become effect, effect become cause, and then it goes on and on. So of course I was born to wrong programming, genetically trauma, and then I was vibrating in a negative vibration. Everything vibrate, nothing rests. It's the law of vibration. Our place, house, they are all vibrate, and the way you vibrate, you attract everything into your life. So attracting negative people, circumstances. I got beat up. Uh, I get emotional trauma in my school, uh, in my neighborhood, all those. So it's a vicious cycle. And the thing is, you don't even know what's happening. And you think it's a fate, you know, God write you in your book, that's how it's gonna be, and you have no power and all those. So that's your comes to belief. You say that is how my breath, that's how my fate. But that's how it went. And I did not know what's going on until of course 2015 when I become a participant. I knew what's going on, started to take my life into my hand and started to create my own reality and experiences.
Beautiful. And so now, how do you feel all those changes made you become the person that you are today? So, putting aside the past trauma, childhood trauma, and your own desire to wanting to be able to end your life and so on and so forth, how do you approach things now that comes your way, the bad things in your life? Do you look at them as just circumstances of, or being a victim of those circumstances, or do you believe that you are a contributing part to everything that's happening to you and through you? So a lot of people say, well, no, that's not my fault. This happened and that happened. So they never really assume responsibilities of whatever they do or their actions or whatever it is. So do you feel that when something bad happens in your life today, you say, okay, what was me being an active participant as to what happened to me today or whatever? So how do you act with those, or how do you behave towards that?
Yeah. So let me make 4 points. First of all, being a human being, I still get triggered by traffic jam or some people. But here's the but part. I bounce back pretty quick. I get jam in traffic, somebody cut me off or do this thing. I get angry, honk them, and maybe in 60 seconds, I'm bounced back. Well, used to take even a whole day and sometimes even next day comes back on and keep living and creating the same uh, circumstances. So
Yeah.
that's one. I bounce back so quickly. Number two, I also know whatever happens, happens. And of course, I may not choose consciously, but I choose subconsciously, depending on my programming and my vibration. Because of course I'm not perfect and I'm attracting. So of course, for give you example, some guy is a drunk, he comes, hits some lady, a lady got disabled. So of course the guy who's drunk at fault, legally, morally, every way. The question is why he hit her. I'm not blaming her, but somehow in vibration, we attracted that. We attract whatever comes to. Nothing is chance. The way I see, whatever happens, happens by natural laws. So nothing is chance. So I attracted. I understand, maybe unconsciously. And number three, I try to learn from it and see how I can respond, not react. So that's number third. And number four, even something bad happen to make us grow. Sure, you know, we I get sometime into bad circumstances, not as used to be as in past, but I do. But they still make me grow and make me more aware. So that's how we grow. Healing and personal growth are both journey. They go on. Life is not static. It's dynamic. It's keep moving. That's how I see. There are 4 points. Uh, I made.
Now, okay, so if we go with that, I mean, you mentioned about by chance or coincidences that this woman was there because she attracted those vibes of this happening to her specifically. But then if we take this theory, how would you explain, Amir, the 2,996 people who died in the Twin Towers in 2001 with the terrorist attack, did they all have bad vibration for it to happen to them?
I believe so. I believe so. Maybe not consciously, but unconsciously. One thing I do believe, learn this life, nothing is chance. So you have to know something's happening by laws. And sure, we don't understand everything. We understand most laws becoming evolving more and more. We don't understand everything. But one thing I do believe, nothing is by chance. They are attracted. I have to say, and that's my experience and my opinion. Anybody can disagree with it, that's fine, but nothing is chance.
But I mean, okay, when we say chance or coincidence or synchronicity, I
Yeah,
mean, we look at all this happening in our universe. It's hard to really grasp or wrap your mind around how did all those people that all died in the same location, same circumstances, they all had those bad vibration for this to happen to them. I mean, sometimes and when you have like when you say these were all innocent people, now at the same time, can you say, well, maybe they were innocent to the outside, but to the inside, they had something that really attracted the situation to happen to them. So then we are all, whatever happens to us in our lives, is that something because we brought out those bad vibration that you're talking about.
yeah. So it's like programming, genetic, environmental programming. Like I said, trauma goes to past 7 generation. So when we are born, we don't know, and most people are not aware of why we do things they do. They always go by habit. If you look at the people, they are doing the same action over and over again. So I give you example. One girl got abusive boyfriend. She left him, found different boyfriend, different name, not John, but Tom. And Tom does exactly the same thing. Then she found maybe Harry. It's the same thing. So she kept finding the same guy. They were different name, different parent, different ethnicity, but they do the same thing. Why is that? Or a guy quit the job, his bosses mean, employees mean, she got different job, and same thing happened. Same mean boss. So we are same attracting, same people, same bosses, same spouses, same boyfriend, same circumstances, same neighbor. I lived in Karachi, Pakistan. I was born there. Then I came to USA, Slanty, Michigan. Then I moved back to Arizona. Then I came back to Virginia. So I left country, I left state. I was running away for those things. Those things never stopped me until I transform. And that's my experience. So you can change country, you can change people, you can change those things, but you have to, you know, be aware and change your programming. Something are so subtle, so minor, you may not have been aware of your thoughts. That is subconscious thought. But if you spend time and money, you become aware, and then you are the creator of your life. You are the author of your circumstances. And sometimes by wise and sometimes by ignorance. Sure, you're bad with the bad programming. That's not your fault. It's not your fault, true, but you have to grow. And the problem is most people don't like to grow. And
Mhm.
it's by paradigm. So it's okay to invest money on house, invest money to in car, nice house, but growth, maybe education, but not on growth. To me, house, car, education, they're all good, but main thing is growth. I mean, believe me, it's, I wasn't like that, but I was forced to start my journey, and I believe this is the most important thing. So that's my answer. I mean, you cannot run away.
You do make a very good point about how people attract like either bad relationships or spouses or bad bosses and all is because you know what it becomes somewhat for them subconsciously it becomes kind of like comfort zone, Amir, because a woman, let's say, always attract bad people. If she's an empath and
Yeah,
she attracts narcissistic people, is going to
yeah,
be a vicious cycle from one relationship to the other, is going to have the same type of people that she brings into her life or vice versa. Now, when it comes to bad bosses and all, of course, everyone they're a contributor to what's going on. It's
Yep.
not just by, you said, it's not just by chance or
Yes.
something has to happen in your life that you bring those circumstances to occur.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yes, it always comes like in a process that people are not conscious that it
Yep.
happened to them. They're
Yep.
either in a zone that they really cannot understand or really decipher the intricacies of what's happening to them. So for them, they just kind of shrug their shoulders and, well, the universe is against me. Nothing,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is where I see more and more people now. And you're right about the material asset that they gain in their lives. So that's such as buying a new home, a beautiful car, because they're overcompensating for something that they don't feel comfortable about themselves on the inside. So for them, the only way that they could express their value is by showing to people what they own, their big home, their mansion, or their Ferraris or Lamborghinis or whatever it is because they're very unhappy inside of them. So they have to balance out this equation. And just like chemistry, one side has to balance with the other. So this is how the human mind is. It's all chemical. And you want to be able to provide this kind of self-esteem that you integrate from within. Because if you do not have that, what's left? Right? So
Yep.
again, just a
Yep.
process that people just don't understand. And I think, you know what? I think in school, my belief, Amir, is that they need to teach psychology a lot more because
Yeah.
it's really becoming a crucial part of the world now. Like you can teach people how to balance their checkbook. You have to teach people with how to manage their money, how to do all this.
Yep.
The school do not.
Yep.
They
Yep.
just kids, they don't even know what the hell they're doing. And then they wonder, why am I all screwed up? Okay. So
Yep.
you have to give them what's important, how to understand the human mind, how to understand like the psychology of finance and everything that revolves around it. And people don't have that. And the education system is so screwed up at this moment. This is
Yep.
growing kids out there. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They get a job, they spend all their money, and they wonder where they're broke.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
That's the
I
so
agree.
yeah.
And one more thing, so yes, they need to learn how to make decision, psychology, of what they are, uh, spirituality, how mind work, and of course, the laws of biology, like how you eat. I discovered that too in my chapter 6, how food can impact you. So I shared food may not heal you 100%, but I tried that eating a healthier diet full of protein, fiber, healthy fat, exercising make you feel good. Sure, you get triggered if you don't work on your mind. But of course, so the laws of mind, of biology, all those things, the whole system, the way they educate has to be transformed. And I believe we evolve so much ahead in science, technology, those things. But institutions like prison system or schools, they left far behind. They have to they have to come ahead to do, that's what I believe too. So you are right.
So
Yes.
can our listeners find your book, Amir?
Okay. Everything I have is in my website. And my website name is pretty simple. From suicidal to serene.com, one word. And my website has my bio, my book, all those places are selling about my book. I wrote some blogs, they're out there too. And it has a 2-page guide, 3 4 action you can start taking right now to improve your life, about your physical and mental. And that guide is not part of my book. I am created afterwards. So everything is on my website.
Beautiful. We're going to put your website information on the description of the podcast so everyone will be able to get access to it and purchase your book. And on that note, Amir, that is all the time that we have for today's podcast. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us. And thank you again for participating and inspiring our many listeners with your incredible story. Now, we hope that you've all enjoyed today's episode, and also very excited about the many upcoming guests that we have scheduled for season 15 of the Happiness Journey podcast, filled with inspirational stories just like the one that you listened to today. Now, here are some concluding words of wisdom. You deserve to be happy because you're a valuable and unique individual with so much to offer to the world. You have the potential to create, innovate, and make a positive impact in your life and the life of those around you. Happiness is not a luxury or a privilege. It is a fundamental right that every human being deserves. You have the right to feel fulfilled, content, and satisfied in your life. You have the right to pursue your dreams and passions and to experience joys, love, and connection. Life is full of challenges and obstacles, but it is important to remember that you have the strength and resilience to overcome them. You have the power to shape your own destiny and to create the life you desire. So never forget that you deserve to be happy and that happiness is within your reach. Take the steps that you need to take. Seek support when necessary, and never give up on your pursuit of a fulfilling and joyful life. My name is Dr. Dan Amzallag, and you may all keep pursuing your amazing journey in life.